Now she's on.
Hey,
Okay.
everybody.
Shall we try that again?
We should. Hopefully, everyone can hear us now.
Talk straight in the microphone and loud.
Will do.
Oh, these are sensitive. We can pick up everything downstairs. So
Yep.
yeah, tell them to clean up their language down there, okay?
Exactly. Hey, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to the broadcast of the finals.
Of the first event for the Kettle Moraine 2026 Men's Invitational Bonspiel. So we have Brown versus Anderson, but they go by Anderstone. They are out of
Anderson is out of Stevens Point,
Okay.
and the other team, Team Brown, is made up. They're called Statesmen, but they're made up from two members from Appleton and two from Madison. So long fought battle to get here to the finals, but here we are. So welcome, everybody.
So, when I saw Statesman on the brochure, I thought it was like, oh, we have players from all around the country, and they couldn't pick a single club, but it's just more or less local, Madison and Appleton.
Perfect.
It's great. But
So all of you out there, if you can drop in the chat, if you can hear us okay, where you're from maybe, where you're from listening from, and maybe who you're cheering for, we'd love to hear it as we get going here on an 8-end game. So real quick, let's go through the lineup for the Team Anderson from Stevens Point. We have, for lead, we have Steve Wilkie. Second, Nick Faberlow. Third, Matt Davis. And skip is Doug Anderson, again from Stevens Point. I chatted with them, and they're very excited to be here. This is kind of a relatively new team put together. However, Doug has made it to the finals twice before, albeit from 2008 and 2003. So he's very excited to make it back to the finals. And on the Statesman team, which is Dave Brown's team, we have throwing lead rocks but skipping, we have Dave Brown. We have second as Kurt Johnson. Third is Jeremy Rode. And throwing skip stones is Greg Johnson. So two Johnsons, both from Appleton, and Jeremy and Dave from Madison.
okay, very good. Welcome aboard, everyone. So stuff's rolling in the top of the house. So given what the style of play I've seen both teams play, I think they're just going to take those right away and just keep that front open as much as possible. I didn't catch who has hammer on this one. And trying to count the rocks. So looks like yellow has hammer. That would be the brown.
Looking forward to an exciting finals here. Two very good teams, great ice, and just came off the ice from their semis, so they should have a good feel for the ice. We're trying to get people out of here just because of the awful weather we're having up here in Wisconsin, and some of these teams being from mid to northern Wisconsin that are really getting walloped. They appreciated maybe getting out of here a little sooner.
And then also the teams from Minnesota, and
Yeah.
well, the word was I-94 is closed.
Wow.
So
I've been hearing Green Bay like 30, 31 inches, like ridiculous amounts of snow.
right.
I guess
In the
Mark-
forecast for the rest of today and tomorrow for that. But the guys from Twin Cities are saying to take an alternate route, drive to Iowa, and then go up. So just so, to get home today, I would hope. But
Yeah. Well, I do know some of the teams are staying overnight just because they don't want to travel in this, which is probably the smart thing to do, right? Who wants to travel in this?
But right here at Kettle Moraine Current Club, we're getting just a ton of rain. So anyway, so tried pulling in something, and I think he was trying to pull behind the two yellows, but didn't curl up enough on them. But I'm guessing now Brown's going to go for a hit and roll and try to tuck behind. But kind of over-curled on him and lost the shooter.
So I'll be providing a little bit of background for new folks out there who maybe aren't as familiar with curling. Just to let you know a little bit about the specifics of the game. We're curling on what's called a sheet of ice, and that sheet is 150 feet long. So that's from backboard. So the width of the sheet from the insides is about 15 feet 7 inches. Just to give you an idea, it's kind of hard to see on these cameras how far they're throwing. It's what we call it when we push that stone out. It's called throwing it. How far that rock is actually traveling down that sheet of ice. You might wonder about the actual stone itself. The curling stone has a weight, including handle and bolt, no greater than 44 pounds and no less than 38.
So we generally call it 42 pounds.
We do.
Yeah.
We do.
And something special with there's a particular type of granite. It only comes from an island off of Scotland that almost all the curling rocks are made from. So it's actually a wildlife sanctuary that every 10 years or so they'll allow the curling stone company to go in and quarry a whole bunch of rock, and they take it off the island and then
mill that for the next 10 years.
So
yeah, and they're quite expensive.
Oh, let's see. How much does a set of curling stones cost now? $20,000 a sheet, I was told.
Yeah.
So
it's a lot of work to mill those, and I think there's only a few technicians who really know how to do it.
And most of that's actually the milling's done in Canada, my understanding.
So those of you who watched the Olympics and saw all the controversy with Team Canada and Sweden, and kind of the issue there with the release of the rock, I can tell you real quick that the rule is a handle you should completely separate your hand from the rock prior to the hog line, which is that line that's going across the sheet as they're delivering, and you must have a clean separation. So that was where the controversy came in, is once you let go of it, he was kind of poking that rock a little bit, and folks were having an issue with that. So
right now, active on the sheet, Anderson put a second rock in the house, what we call splitting the house. So, he has counting number 1 and number 2, and the idea is to now hopefully just exchange 1-1-1 with the other team. The objective is you have hammer, which is the final shot, is to score multiple points. And the objective, the team that doesn't have hammer, is either to steal or to hold the other team to 1 point.
what you just saw was a great takeout. Not only did he take out the rock, the scoring rock, he rolled behind a guard, which happened to be from the other team, but counts either way, and has a little protection now. So that was a great shot.
Hopefully, I think his objective now would be to hit the sun right on the top of the rock and drive it straight back into the yellow, and so then red would be back to counting 2.
Looking good.
Well, not quite curled up enough for him.
There we go.
Oh, actually, it's back to splitting the house.
Yeah.
That was a beautiful shot. But opportunity for who's shooting on the Brown team to kind of hit on the inside of that, the one that's by the broom, which is around the 8-foot. Hit on the inside and roll over and either roll on top of the other red one, or if he comes with really heavy weight, he probably can drive both out. But he just hit it just right, and I've seen him do it, so wouldn't be surprised if he comes with heavy weight and takes them both out.
So scoring, at the completion of the end, which is when all the rocks have been thrown, the team scores 1 point for each of its own stones located in or touching the house, which is that center button, that are closer to the tee, the very center, than any stone of the opposition.
Okay, so they didn't do what I was expecting them to do. They were lightweight, and he still wanted to hit on the inside of that red rock, which it didn't curl up enough for him. But I think he was looking to roll under cover of his yellow rock, and they have an open take for the other red one on his second shot. These are skip rocks now, so
The skip being the last 2 for each team.
right. So, first end of the game, this is when you start feeling out how's the ice behaving today. Ice can be very finicky, from one game to the next, one day to the next.
One sheet to the next.
Next.
During the game, it changes.
So I think he's trying the same thing, just come with light, take weight, hit on the inside of it, and roll behind the cover. Just almost like that.
Okay, now an opportunity for a double.
And how would they do that, Donna?
You wouldn't?
Hmm?
What's that?
Yes, and
Yeah.
well, what do they need to do to get the double, Donna? For the new people out there.
Well, you can't hit it straight on.
No, actually, straight on is your ideal.
Well, I'd hit it a little bit to the inside, but yeah, you're straight on.
If you hit it too much on the inside, then you miss the back
Well,
one.
because they're off center like that, you can hit straight on and blow both of them out.
Right,
So,
and then the shooter
yeah.
will sit right in front of where the top red one is.
Yeah, so it was an unfortunate roll to kind of give him that opportunity to do that relatively easy.
So at that point,
And then, pardon the
let's
pun,
see
you
what
look like a
happens.
rock star.
Yeah.
Hey. Boom. There you go.
Just like that. Okay. So now, yellow is currently sitting 2, but the scoring ones, which we call a shot rock, is wide open, and so Anderson is just gonna take that, hit on the nose, or hit it somewhere so that he stays in the house. So now counts the yellow one on top. And this is a great move for Brown because they are forcing them to do this because they have the other one counting on top. So, mission accomplished for Brown, keeping the other team to 1 when they have hammer. But they gotta make the shot first.
Yep.
If it over curls, they could be giving up 2. And it's curling a
a
ton.
lot. Oh. Okay.
Yeah. That's when you're learning to sheet. It's like, how much room do you need to give it? So, that was probably gonna call it a 3-point swing.
Absolutely. Hey, everybody out there who's watching, feel free to go out and share this stream out to your Facebook, share it to your friends and family who might be interested in watching this game on a very blustery, snowy day in Wisconsin. But we welcome more viewers, so go ahead and do that.
That was probably gonna call it a 3-point swing.
Hey, everybody out there who's watching, feel free to go out and share this stream out to your Facebook, share it to your friends and family who might be interested in watching this.
Oh. We back on? Yep.
Yep.
Okay. That looks to me to be a perfect guard, and that is because a guard they can't take out, and it's perfect because it's just outside the house, dead center. I mean, and with this tournament, we do play what is called the no-tick rule. So the opposing team cannot hit that rock for the first 5 rocks to knock it off the center line.
So that free guard zone is if a stone rests between the tee line and the hog line at the playing end, excluding the house. So if it touches the house, it's no longer a guard. It's deemed to be within the area of the free guard zone. So you get that free guard zone for the first 6.
Well, the 6th rock you can,
6th rock you can take
start,
them out.
Right. But based on what you just read there, that means if I put a rock behind the house in the white, that's still a free guard.
Hey, if you wanted to play it that way, Mike, go ahead.
Well, based on what you read out of the rule book. So now they're just gonna try to pull in a draw behind.
So there's a big consequence if you do hit those rocks, the other team, once they're placed in that free guard zone. So if prior to the delivery of that 6th stone, a delivered rock causes either directly or indirectly the other stone to be moved from the free guard zone to an out of play position, then the delivered stone is removed from play and the displaced stones are replaced. So they get to put them right back. So you actually lose your shooter.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta be really careful about that.
And it is the person in the house to skip from the opposing team, the offended team.
Offended team who gets to make that
actually
call.
They use those terms,
Yeah.
offending and offended. They actually get to determine where the stuff was or whatever. And so it's a
And a larger consequence if you get your guard on that center line, if they just tick it off the line.
yeah, right.
Then you have that consequence. If your guard is not on the line, they actually have to take it out of play before that rule happens. So new rules that kind of came in the last number of years to kind of make it a little bit more of a fun, exciting game for everyone to watch.
Actually, that stemmed from the elite level,
Mhm.
Olympic and international, because
A lot
The-
of
the
zero
teams-
ends.
the teams would put those rocks up there, and so then
Purposely tick them.
just move them off to the side a little bit, just to get them out of the way without taking them out. So
Sneaky.
yes. Should we blame the Canadians on that one too?
Yeah, let's
Okay.
just blame the Canadians.
Yeah, they always come up with ways around the rules. So when the person delivering the rock, it's like one of those runner things, we call it the hack. They have to release the rock before there's a hog line where the gentleman in black is standing right now. They have to release it before the rock starts crossing that line. So, and then to be in play has to go all the way across the hog line on the far
other
end.
side, yep. Or it's taken out.
So if let's say back to our sneaky Canadians, they force implementation of that rule of having to release the rock before the near hog line, because they would literally slide out of the hack, go all the way down the sheet, and just almost drop the rock in the house. So
Again, it's at delivery, so a stone must be clearly released from the hand before it reaches the hog line at the delivery end. If the player fails to do so, the stone is immediately removed from play by the delivering team. So that was the big rub.
well, the big rub with the
Push.
Olympics was that you can never touch the granite, so they would just, I saw multiple Canadians doing that same hand motion, so I'm thinking it's part of their coaching. And one of the women's players got called out on it.
Yeah.
So
Well, looks like Team Brown is setting up quite an interesting end here. Anderson better get in here and
move some granite.
move some yellow.
thought it did. Would. Okay.
A
That was gonna
twofer.
overcurl.
Anytime
That was
your
gonna
rock
over-
can take out 2,
Yes.
that's a good day.
A double.
It's a good shot.
But I thought it was gonna overcurl for him at the end and only get the top
Yep.
one. So.
Okay,
I don't know.
Jeremy's up in the hack right now. Jeremy Rowe
Yeah,
delivering.
It looks like the call is to hit on the inside of the red one and then roll behind the yellow center guard.
He's sliding out, and there you have your clear release before that line. And the skip calling the sweep.
And is it curling enough? I'm surprised.
Yeah, nice shot. Little tucked, not enough. It's just kind of half, maybe a third tucked behind that center guard at the very top of the house. So I think the call here is
Well,
curl in.
Well, he wants to draw behind
Yep,
those because
draw in.
you can
Use them as guards.
exactly because they're staggered, and if he draws it right to the center line into the 4-foot, it's really hard to get at it. So.
Yeah, you can use either team's rocks as guards, which is
taught-
something you have to think about when you're putting out your stuff.
Yeah, I taught Donna that one. I was like, I don't care what color it is. A guard's a guard.
Okay, this kind of hung out there a little bit. Didn't quite tuck in the way he wanted. The center of the house is completely open still, so he's calling for a hit and a roll in.
Right. Which
So
is,
wants to take out that red, make it all yellow in the house.
yeah. So the brown team is very versatile. I do think they like more of a take game, though. Is that going to curl up enough? No.
Straight on. So again, this is only the second end. A lot of the team here is just learning how the sheet is curling, what speed they should throw for that curl. So you'll probably see the shots and the shot quality improve as we kind of go through the game here.
Mm-hmm. So I think he's calling for the same thing, to hit and roll behind the 2 yellows, which put him in a very good spot. It doesn't have to come with a ton of weight. Personally, I like a more lighter take weight. That way,
It's going to roll out here, I think. Yep.
so that didn't curl up on him.
Okay, on to the skip stones.
Well, that was the first Reds. No, you're right.
Oh, I don't hear that very often.
What? That
You're right. But thank you. All right, real quickly, just to announce what we have in our other events here at Kettle. In the second event, we have Laws versus P. Muller. In the third event, we have Friend versus, what is it?
Freund, I
Freund
think.
versus Townsend. And fourth event, we have Bromberg versus Ledbetter. And in the fifth event, which we lovingly call the Lame Duck event, we have Flanagan versus C. Anderson.
Very good.
I took my notes.
Yes.
All right.
I'm guessing he's just going to try drawing behind.
Drawn again, yeah.
Gotta figure out what draw weight is, what tee weight is, and then how much is he going to curl with that. So be able to position the broom appropriately.
Got a
You know,
nice
if he-
one coming in here.
If he ticks that
Nice one. Look at this.
just around
A little
the
more, a little
guard,
more. A little light, but
you would have liked it to top of the 4-foot.
yep.
Now,
Still open. Still
Well,
available.
Yes, they look like they come around it. So what are they looking for? Is that 5 feet of swing?
Yeah, something like that.
So the house itself, the big target is 12 feet in diameter. So the line that bisects it vertically, we're looking at it, is called the center line. The one that bisects it horizontally is the T line. Okay. So we're measuring, and then the congruent circles, which is in this case the red. The lettering in it is the 8-foot circle, and then towards the center you can see a green circle just where underneath the word ale or above lager. So again, the objective is to get as close as possible.
Yeah, you want to land right in the center there.
Yeah.
And that's good enough to be called at this point shot rock,
Right.
which is the rock that is closest to the center, which is red right now. So strategy is to take that out, because if the ended here, red would score 1, even though yellow has 2, possibly 3 rocks on the target. Doesn't matter. It's whoever is closest to the button, the center of
Correct.
that target.
Which is right where the T line and the center line cross. And
That's
then
correct.
you see the little circle there, that's a 1-foot diameter circle. So I missed that one earlier.
And this is Brown's last shot.
So I don't know if there's enough room to get a roll on to the inside.
Okay.
Okay.
So it looks to be a force of 1, right? They have to take it. They have to take their 1, because if they don't, they're giving up 3 or 4 to yellow, depending upon if that very top guard is touching any part of the target, which they would probably have to measure for that.
So based on the positioning
That's a
of
force.
Yes. Based on the positioning of the broom, he's looking to do draw weight coming in on the inside of the yellow. The yellow shot rock is the one just above the T line that was just thrown. So
And,
right on the E of the ale.
Yeah, you
on
have to
the
hit
broom
it
house.
or hit and roll. 'Cause if they land on it, they still won't be shot. So,
That's good enough to move it.
or
Okay.
curl into it, curl around it.
It looks like he was a little inside of where the broom was held.
Oh, it's
Which-
curling like crazy.
And to me, it looks like it's going to crash
Yeah,
on the
it
top
is.
yellow.
Oh,
So,
all right.
it's
It's a
not
score
a
of
great
3
start.
for yellow. It's an unfortunate throw there. It looked like he threw it either just a little bit light or a little bit inside, and it crashed up on the guard, which is, now you see the importance of your guards.
Mm-hmm.
You got to create some traffic out there.
Right. Some of them are just a psychological effect,
Yeah.
because those 2 yellows on the top up there, really shouldn't to bother anybody, okay? Because, oh, I can draw inside of that anytime, right? That's what you should be thinking as a skip.
Yeah. It's early in the game. Lots of game to play. Lots of opportunity for Anderson to come back. So, Anderson fans out there, don't give up. We're only in the 3rd end now.
But there's another Anderson playing if they want to watch that one instead. If you're on a live stream.
Anderson.
Yeah. No, it was on sheet E, wasn't it?
Let me look. Yes, C. Anderson is in the lame duck, and that's on our sheet E. So all of those games that I announced, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th event, are also being streamed here at Kettle. You can simply do a YouTube search on that sheet name, Kettle Moraine Curling Club sheet, whatever, and we're on sheet C with the 1st event. and then likewise down. You can see those games as well if you want to switch between them or see what's happening. But most people here are fans of the game they're
One-
tuning into. So
One particular team, but
yeah,
I'm just saying if there's, I have no idea if these Andersons are related in any certain way, sort of way, but
yeah. I did not do that research. So. The curling community is a small community, and there is a lot of families who curl and generational curling. So it's not unheard of to have that type of situation where you would have.
This could be dad.
Yep.
you
Or
know,
grandpa, grandson.
yeah, exactly.
Brothers.
Right. Well, no, I mean it was like if which one, this is D. Anderson.
Yeah.
If he, like I say, he won back in 2003, so he's been coming for at least 23 years.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, sir, for coming that often for every year.
Oh,
So-
all these teams have been coming for years and years and years. And I did talk to them about, why Kettle? Why come to Kettle? And they said, it's a premier event. It's a fun spiel that
And-
still is competitive.
Oh, it is incredibly competitive.
They made sure they said
So-
that. It's fun, but it's competitive.
Right.
We have great ice. We have just great food and a great atmosphere. So if you haven't been to Kettle, we encourage you to come on out, look for a bonspiel. This is one of the last ones we'll have for the year, but we're already planning next year. So we have any and all flavors of competition.
And just one note, it was like, so it would not be surprising if the other Anderson would be his son. Okay.
Not surprising.
Because there are some father-son team, just families that
Well,
come.
my daughter curls.
Yeah.
And
Not-
speaking
not
of which,
in this event.
no. A big shout out and happy birthday to Joanna Seaboth today.
Did we say what number? Or, no.
We could say 25, a
Okay.
quarter century. It's a big one.
Man, I remember when she was just a little kid.
She came to learn to curl when Jeff and I, my husband and I, stepped into this curling club to check it out. And I have video of her, one of her first times on the ice, and she was all of about 9 years old, getting her instruction. And then she went on to win back-to-back club women's national championships. So it's pretty exciting that you can start that way and quickly escalate and elevate to a highly competitive
And
curl. So
Joanna.
and curled with
curled.
your daughter,
Yes, it was the same high school.
Nicole. They won state.
State high school.
What's it, 2016, I think?
Yes.
So they were on the
And-
same team, and Joanna
Yeah.
was only lead on that team.
And my daughter was Skip.
Yes.
And
It was a
they actually.
great win.
My daughter, her club team was in the U.S. Women's Nationals last spring as well as
Mhm.
Joanna's.
Yeah.
And they played against each other.
Yeah, that
in
was
the-
awkward, but
yeah.
fun.
in the semifinal, and Nicole had a nice take that just overcurled just a hair that caused the shot to miss. And
It's a game of inches,
yes.
right? Sometimes
And,
millimeters.
so Joanna's team won and
won.
got to go back and go
Defend.
for the gold medal, and they got it. So and Nicole's team got the bronze. So.
Yeah.
But sitting in the front row, I was like,
Yeah, that was not awkward at all, right, Mike?
No.
We were parents sitting in Milwaukee watching that one being competed, but cheering
Yeah.
for on the opposite ends, which is
which is that was the only time we were cheering for the opposite. Otherwise, I was cheering for Joanna's team all along. So
well, thank you, and
right.
likewise for Nicole. They're
Mm.
both girls are phenomenal curlers. So, again, back to that generational curl. A lot of us get our kids into it, and
Mhm.
they develop a love of the sport, and they're very fortunate that they get it at a young age, and then they can do it for many, many, many years. I didn't discover curling till I was much older. I'll just say that, much older. I won't say how much older. Much older. If I would have had this when I was a teenager, wow.
I don't know if we would have done it if we were as teenagers. It was different back then. Yeah,
maybe.
the curling clubs they are non-smoking now, and
That's
you know,
true. That's
okay,
true.
Back then, it was like a cloud of smoke everywhere. They had the corn brooms and it was loud, and so
Yeah,
the
a little
game
more
is-
rowdy, a little bit more social, which it's social now, but in a different way. And I think they've carved out a family appropriate family fun time, so it's much more welcoming, I think, as we've gone forward, just to encourage the younger kids to come on out and try the sport. It's so much fun. So if you haven't tried it, it's never too late. Come on out, give it a try. We have open houses, usually in the September timeframe, September, October, and then usually we do it halfway through, right around the January timeframe. There's sign-ups all the time. So if you haven't tried curling, come on out and try it. And we have all different abilities. So if you aren't able to deliver, as you see these elite members delivering, we do have accommodations where you can use a stick, which is much easier to deliver the rock. But we encourage everybody to come on out. And we're very proud this year we represented that we had a wheelchair curler who made it to the Olympics and won 4th place in the mixed doubles competition at the most recent Olympics.
What was that? Last week
Yes.
before?
Yeah. So all abilities, everyone is welcome. So please come on out and try it. We'd love to have you. Or likewise, if you have a company where you want to do an outing, we do those as well, where we put together a nice little team building experience for you and your team. Come on out and try curling. So lots of opportunities to come on out and hang at the curling club and be a part of the action.
So anyway, back to the game for a moment.
Back to the
here.
game. What
So-
game? What do we do?
Oh yeah, we're supposed to be talking about the game, Donna.
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
well,
yeah.
it gets
Anyway.
interesting towards the last half at the end.
Yeah.
So
So the two Red Rocks up in front are perfect guards for tucking behind, because you can't hit them to drive them back into something into the house. Okay, so Brown almost completely buried the one on to the right behind. Okay, and then Anderson, almost buried it completely again, coming in from the other direction. So, so now either Brown's objective is to keep him to 1, but it's also set up to run that yellow on they just thrown on the center line back into the shot rock, the red shot rock. So I think Anderson's trying to see how he prevent that. I mean that. There's a skip. I'm like, oh yeah, give me that shot right there. That run that yellow back into the red. So.
I think he's trying to do a takeout here, get rid of some of those guards.
Just a heavy draw weed, it seems to me.
Yeah, hit and roll in.
And roll
There we
there you
go.
go.
Very nice.
That was not so loaded for the yellow anymore.
Yeah, so you
That
might
was
say,
well done.
why do that? Because it was loaded up for yellow to hit their own yellow and roll on top of the red and then have lots of protection. So this is a game of chess. It's always thinking about what the other team is going to do and making a plan for that.
Right, a couple moves ahead.
Yeah.
So, guessing right now that he's going to come away when he hit that rock. This is yellow shooting, so if he hits it really, like, what do you want to call it, 11 o'clock? Is it the appropriate clock dial there?
Mm-hmm.
He can hit it across enough that he can get a double. Then
So 11 o'clock being on the outside of that rock a little bit
Right,
because he
right,
needs that
right.
angle to be able to hit maybe a double, which would be
Right.
fantastic.
I'd love to see it. And again, Brown loves the hits. That's why I watch him make some really nice.
He's coming in
shots.
nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
not quite the double, but At least the red one is a lot more exposed now. So
So red says put the guard back.
Okay.
That's what
Personally, I'd come a little more, inside
You want
it.
to tap?
I'd tap it through and roll under cover.
Mm.
Okay.
I saw him tap the broom down for a guard, so we'll
Yes.
see. We'll see.
Again, we're not on the ice.
This
and
is the
whatever.
armchair quarterbacking that always happens behind the glass. So another great fun at the curling club is to come and watch your favorite teams and have these kind of conversations.
And I was like, this is what I would do. But, our job right now is try okay, we see their hand motion, broom motion. It's like,
Mhm.
okay, what are they actually calling? So,
And this does look like guard weight.
and when he taps it down in front, that usually indicates that's where he wants the rock to end up.
Yep.
Okay. Well, that's pretty decent.
Yeah. I think it came a little bit farther than he wanted, maybe by a foot or so.
Not all bad, though.
Not all bad.
Yeah, because
Tough double, for sure.
in order to double those out, he would have to hit that top red one right square on the, I always call it the nose, but
Mhm.
the top,
Straight up.
right? But
Noon.
if you look at the angle where all those red rocks are there guarding, it's like impossible to get to that spot.
Yeah, it is.
So, hard to tell if they're actually touching the rocks are touching or not. Okay, yellow's
Come on,
final
good
rock
weight.
for the end. So if it hangs wide, he'll get
Hangs
just
wide.
one. Okay.
All right. So it looks like a scoring opportunity for red.
To get two.
Get kind of back into this game. Get some points up on the board. Now they're looking just to add an extra point here. So
So yes, right
Anything
now
in
red
that
is
white-
scoring one, but
white area on the target there.
So is that white, tan, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
To outscore that yellow,
I want it to land on where it says Delafield.
right?
Okay. Because there's also opportunity for the skip to figure out what T weight is. Okay. So if he comes and lands on the word Delafield, then he can dial in what T weight is because he's going to need
They're
to
not
know
sweeping, so just walking it down. So looking at the weight here.
that. And it's also for the.
Oh, here it comes. Usually gives it a little tap. That's okay. Hopefully a tap to slow it down. Perfect.
I would say
Nice shot.
that was really good T weight right there. in my
That sure
opinion.
was.
Even
Really nice.
it took the red one and slowed it down, but if it had cleared that, I think it would have stopped right on the button. So
So the score now is Brown 5 and Anderson 2. Going into the fourth end.
So how's that scoreboard work, Donna?
It's a
weird.
conversation we have with lots of new members. So they share the points down the center. The numbers that they're hanging are the end numbers. So the end, the curling end. So in the first end, end of curling, yellow scored 2. So they hang it underneath the number 2. So it's a cumulative point running down the center. So whichever color, red or yellow, is farther ahead, that's the one in lead. So you'll see that yellow is underneath the 5 points. So they have 5 points, and red is above the number 2. So they have 2 points. But it also tells you what end they got those points in. So that also helps the teams remember who has hammer. So hammer is the last rock that's thrown on each end, and the hammer is given to the team that did not score the points in the previous end. So since red scored in end 3, yellow has the hammer coming up in the fourth end. So it's just kind of a all-encompassing kind of scoreboard that it's kind of confusing when you first start curling. You're like, what is going on down there? I don't understand it. But once you got it, it's kind of gives a lot of information, which I think is really nice because you can kind of review the game right there on the scoreboard, and see exactly who scored what when and who has hammer.
What happens if they score more than 18 points?
Well, I have seen that a few times, and usually someone's giving up at that point.
Yeah. Which is an interesting and good
Wrap around
thing with curling is, if you feel you're so far out of it, now it's the team that's losing makes this decision. If you're so far out of it that there's no possibility of catching up, you can what we call shake and end the game early.
Yeah.
So if somebody scores 18 points,
yeah,
then,
they're usually killing them.
They're way behind, and let's not bother with not waste our time anymore.
I think more interesting is when you have a blank end. So a blank end is when neither team has a rock in that target at the end of play. And that does happen quite often. Sometimes teams choose to blank an end, not to take a point, because they want to retain the hammer. And when that happens on that scoreboard, a lot of times you'll see them pick up that number 4 and just place it over the number 4 or turn it over or whatever, and you won't see it on the red or the yellow, in that column, that row. So that can be a little confusing to, especially new members are like, well, what happened? I don't see the number 4 anywhere. Well, they blanked that end. So.
And blank ends are a lot more common at this level of play. Is most of these games tend to be just real tight ones. It's just real back and forth, and having the hammers an advantage, and they want to get 2 or more.
So if they're only looking at 1, they might choose, hey, let's just blank this, keep the hammer, and try for our 2 in the next end.
Right. Okay, so now Anderson's seen that the way those 4 rocks are all set up there, there's the guard up in front, and then the way the other ones are set up, that it'd be really hard to hit his rock. So he wants to tuck that red one behind those ones in the house. This is where the sweepers come in, and they got to figure out what the weight is. Quite light on that one. So at this point now, I think Brown's just going to start peeling the guards out, as they have hammer and they're in the way for him. So. Then I'm guessing he really doesn't care about what's in the house. He's just more important to get the. This is an interesting miss.
Yeah. I honestly like watching curling at this level better than watching at the highest levels, because at the highest levels everyone is so good that it really just comes down to strategy and maybe a few nuanced misses here and there. Whereas at club curling, we're not professionals. We're out there having a good time. This is all about having fun. You want to win, but obviously this isn't our full-time job. And it's interesting. It's an interesting game. Things sometimes, when I'm calling a game and I'm skipping, it's like, well, the shot isn't going to turn out the way I wanted, so what's my option B, C, and D as it's coming down for me to be able to call a sweep differently or set up something differently for the next shot. So ever-changing, ever-evolving game at the club level, and it can be a fun watch for everybody.
And some of the teams, I think the Hedstrom team that was here actually was in U.S. Club Nationals. Oh, and actually Brown, I think, was in it too. Only some of the team members from Brown. So there's senior nationals, is U.S. Curling Association's championships, which then you win that, you go to Worlds. So, which I think was in Switzerland, or coming up in Switzerland. So Hedstrom was competing in it, but other team from Twin Cities won it. It was far below. Multi-time winning.
Yeah.
Those guys are impressive.
Oh, yeah. So it's an interesting final. I think it's interesting just because we have some home teams who competed in this very large Bonspiel, and none of them made it to the finals. So when people say, hey, home ice advantage, I don't know if I believe that at this level. Everyone's curling really, really well, and the ice is always good and consistent and held to the highest standards. So it creates a very level playing field for anyone coming in, that there is no really home field advantage or home sheet advantage. It's
And also back to what we said earlier about the ice changes day to day, game to game. So during the game, so it's whoever figures it out and stays in tune the best usually prevails. And that's why at club level was like, okay, which team makes the fewer mistakes?
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna be making mistakes here.
So Red just threw kind of I call it a guard plus. It's a guard, but it counts. It's in the house.
I think the quote unquote technical term is blocker.
Blocker, right? He's trying to make it harder for the Team Brown to kind of come around that other side, so create some traffic up front.
So the objective, they haven't been doing it much in this game yet, is get stuff into the forefoot.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know much scoring has been in the forefoot or not.
Well, we haven't talked about that too, of the strategy of when you have hammer, where you're putting your rocks versus when you don't. So if you don't have the hammer, you want to put a lot up front to kind of prevent the hammer team from having an open shot into the button at the very end. So a lot up front, create some traffic up there, make it difficult. And if you have hammer, you want to keep that as open as possible while you're playing your end. Maybe put some things on the side, tuck them that way, but kind of clear that out so that you have that last shot opportunity to kind of get in there.
So I don't know if that was Anderson wanted that red one to tuck behind those two, that stack along the center line, because it's kind of sitting in the open right now for Brown to take it.
Absolutely.
So it would have been better to get crossing the center line more, tuck behind those. So as I'm trying to figure out, everybody has hand signals for the kind of weight they want.
He's saying, take this, take it.
So putting your hand, just like a
hand to the chest.
Yeah, well, no, I'm thinking the baseball third line coach or whatever,
Hit it straight on, but
it's
needs
hanging
to
out
curl.
there.
A lot of speed, so he's going to hit and roll off. And he'll take his own.
Which isn't all bad for him that he unfortunately hit that one, but came back into the middle and became shot. But wide open, so Anderson should hit and try to roll behind the cover.
And I will throw out that little sympathy to these teams because they just got done playing their semis.
So with
Their
no-
semifinal game had to
with
come right
what?
back out.
I mean, it was like, what, 20-minute break?
Yeah. We're trying to hustle these teams out just because of the weather, get everyone on the road or tucked in wherever they're going to stay. The biggest snowstorm of the year. It happens on our Bondsville weekend, but we're not going to let that affect anything here. And
Well-
it's good that the weather waited at least till the end. So a lot of our teams
You know, for all the years I've been curling here and in this spiel or helping out, it's like this is the first snowstorm I've had to deal with. Most of the time it's like
heat.
70, 80
Yeah.
degrees.
Is it a lion or a lamb this year?
Yeah.
And this year it's the
Uh-oh.
lion.
They gotta get this one to curl. I think he pushed it a little wide.
They're trying to sweep it over or sweep.
Yeah.
No.
Let's see. It's hard for us to tell which. Okay, the shot rock right now is
Red.
red on the, depending on what your perspective you're looking at, on the left side, right?
Right by the
Correct.
ale.
Yes.
Above the ale.
I mean, if you're looking at the one video screen, it's on the left side, but if
Yeah.
you're looking at the other one, it's on the right side. So Brown's gonna look to take the shot rock out.
Absolutely.
But from our perspective, we can't tell which one's number 2, the yellow on top or the red way down in the back. And based on what, I'd venture a guess it is the yellow is the second shot. But either way, he wants to hit and roll behind the guards. Is it curling up? Just
Here it
the right
comes, here
amount.
it comes.
Just right, just off the nose, roll right over.
Very nice shot.
Those are the impressive shots I've been seeing them do all weekend.
Yeah,
so.
very nice. When I went down there and I chatted with Team Brown, they said, their third said, well, you're trusting me to throw skip stone, so I got to bring it. Because Dave is shooting lead but skipping, so it's up to his third, or what notoriously had been his third, but throwing those skip stones. So you can do that kind of stuff. You can move your players around. There's rules around that, but it's perfectly legal to do that.
But, isn't he Skip? Doesn't he always want to be Skip?
Perhaps.
No, I think it's...
Calls the game, but he doesn't want to throw the last stones. So.
Well, it's also like what's the makeup of the team and who's going to be the strongest at whatever position.
Yeah, when I chatted to him, he's like, we're all comfortable curling any one of these positions. So
And
it
you
was
should be.
really, what we felt we would have the best chance. So this
it is.
lineup is they felt their best chance to bring home the gold.
So this did not work well for Anderson on that. He was way short. Okay, he needed to have T-weight on that one. And now Brown's just going to look to take that outside red one and, hit and stick, hit and roll inside for a 3, but, get rid of it for guaranteed 2 if he rolls out.
And taking that red just to prevent having to measure, or perhaps they believe that is outcounting their yellow. So remove all doubt, get rid of it.
That's right.
Hit and stick would be perfect. They'd get their 3. When you get a roll, that's always a little scary. In my opinion, a hit and roll, because how hard you hit it, where you hit it, where you get that roll.
And it's hanging out. And
To my point,
Yep.
there you go.
Well.
And you only get your 2.
which is fine. He already has a...
He already has a pile.
Yeah, so he is back to having a 5-point lead. So over the fatigue of the weekend starts taking its toll too. So
Yep.
shall we take a look around the other games, see how they're doing
Yep.
here?
Sure, we're at
Okay.
the halfway point of this game, so I think they
Okay.
get a
Let's see.
little break.
Oops. Wrong one. All right, sheet B, Law versus Mueller.
Okay, looks like-
Mueller's up 2-1 at this point in the
But
fourth,
Laws
and
is threatening.
so, okay.
Very competitive.
We're on C, D, Townsend versus Freund.
Looks like Freund is up here and threatening, but
Well, they had a 4-point lead, and then Townsend came back with 2, so they're up. Freund is up 4-2 at this point. So.
all right, back to our feature.
Lame duck.
So all looks like pretty competitive. What about sheet A? Here we are.
Yeah,
Very competitive on all sheets.
Which what we would kind of hope to see, tight games across the board. Actually, our feature game here is the one that there's actually any real difference on some sort of lead. How's that? Every other game is like 1 or 2 point leads for whatever team. So. Okay, so Brown's gonna take that red rock out in the back of the house. Personally, I think he would want it to hit and stick, but it's not going to. It's gonna over curl, hopefully stick around, but not with that weight. And when you throw with that kind of weight, you gotta be very precise where
Yes,
you
you
hit
do.
stuff.
That's why you and I are more fans of the finesse takeout,
Yes.
control takeout,
Yes.
which just means throwing it with a little less weight so you get the pop, and if it tends to roll, you still kind of have a chance to stick in the house. But when you come with a lot of weight, which the advantage is you usually can control line a little bit better, but that comes with risk, because if you don't get the line, you're most definitely hitting and rolling
Yeah.
out if you don't hit it straight on. So
And the other one about those heavy takes, right? So if you watch any YouTube videos or whatever, the most impressive curling
Yeah.
shots are always somebody throwing,
Pounds
super,
away, yeah.
peel weight of sort and blowing up the house and running 4 or 5 rocks out, and it's like, that's always cool, but
for the everyday takeout, you don't need that kind of weight.
You don't need that.
No.
And we don't throw hundreds of rocks like the pros do, so we don't have that kind of precision.
Well, some guys like to think they do.
Yeah.
I've seen that. And this is a draw round. Very nice. Great placement right behind that guard, that red guard. We have Team Anderson calling for follow that down, but he's coming from the other side.
He just wants to
Interesting.
come in, hit it on the nose, a little tap back. I think he's looking for back 8 weight.
I don't know if I would have come this way. I might have come the other way just because they
Right,
just
okay.
threw it.
So what do you feel comfortable with?
Yep.
We also said, okay, if it doesn't curl enough, then we'll move the top one. So
What do I know? I'm not in the final.
Yeah. It's coming decently. Is it going to go deep enough?
Very nice.
Good spot, but yellow still looks to be shot. Sorry about that. We had a piece of equipment kind of flare up on us. It'll create a bunch of noise.
Okay, just took off that center guard. Get rid of it. Tired of curling around it. Take it off. It's early enough in the end here.
Who took it off? Yellow did. So sometimes I wonder about that. I mean, it's like, yellow does not have hammer.
Mm-hmm.
So, you're going to peel the guards out for the other team.
I think they were scared about the tap back, right?
Mm-hmm.
You hit that center guard back. Okay, breaking news into the booth. In the lame duck event, 5th event, we have C. Anderson, who won that event. So for anyone else out there who is keeping track or score.
If you're Anderson fans of any sort,
just the name, yeah.
So
the cachet.
At least one Anderson. One.
Yep, bringing home some gold hardware.
There you go, and then there'll be inspiration for this Anderson team to make a dramatic comeback.
Yep. Which can be done. I've seen it happen many times. I've been victim to it many times. You think you got the game sewn up, you're up 5, and you kind of rest on your laurels a little bit, and you're like, well, okay, we can take our foot off the gas, and then someone comes back, or things don't go your way, and pretty soon you're curling an extra end.
Yes. Without hammer.
Well, if they came back, I'd have hammer.
Oh.
So, but that just puts more pressure on the skip.
They thrive on that pressure, don't they?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Huh? What's your favorite skip shot?
A guard?
No.
No shot at all.
The
is
one
my
I
favorite.
don't even have to throw.
The one I don't have to throw. That's
right.
exactly it. When you get to shake. But second best is guard.
Yeah, your team must be doing good if the skip's throwing guards, right?
Yes.
So they're looking to tuck behind these yellows. They're kind of staggered. They're coming up with a case of the lights here. I mean, that needed to get, to the 8 foot at least, touch 4.
Okay, so that's real interesting. We just had someone come into the booth and say, hey, they're done curling on one of our sheets. All right. That changes the ice. The ice now
on
can
the other
be,
sheets.
yes. Yeah. So as teams start leaving the ice, it gets a little cooler out on the ice because there's less folks out there sweeping and breathing and all that other kind of stuff. And I have seen the ice slow down, right? All of a sudden it's heavy. It's like, oh my gosh, we have to throw just a tad bit more weight than we had been because now we're, there's only a couple of folks out here curling and it starts freezing up a little bit more. So, yeah, it's just so interesting, this game. So many different elements and different levels to consider as you're playing.
Right. And in this particular case there, a lot of the activity's been on the other side of the sheet. So, okay, now we're going to put something on, the left-hand side of the sheet.
Which hasn't been curled as much.
So it hasn't been swept, hasn't been there. So the humidity in the room starts giving a slight layer of frost on that side of the sheet.
Because it hasn't been swept or people haven't
a
been
rock
sweeping
hasn't
over there
been
running
over
on
it.
it.
Right.
Yep, absolutely. So a lot of times you'll see skips curl for the same side they have been curling on because they know it and they've been curling on it and they've seen the rock come down that side and they're more hesitant to come down the side they haven't because they just don't know how it's going to react over there.
Yep. Sorry.
Another light. Another 2 light.
Okay, well, we don't have a. We're kind of giving him an excuse on his last one, but this.
No,
one.
that's okay. we do that here.
Yeah, we can't get him off the hook on this time because
Sometimes you just don't believe what you're seeing,
Yeah.
and that's what I keep. Sometimes when I talk to my team, it's like, it's not curling on this side. Well, that doesn't make sense. So let's just keep throwing it the same way. No, the sheet is telling us something, so we have to adjust for what's
Right.
happening.
The ice you're playing on, not the one you think it should be, right?
Or what it should be doing.
The
right?
actual ice, not the Well, Monday it did that. Well, yeah. Well, Tuesday's a different day, so.
That's when I mimic breaking my broom over my knee and say, I hate this game. But again, it makes it interesting.
I thought that was what you do with your golf clubs.
Well, exactly. This is
Yeah.
golf on ice, in a way.
Yeah, those dang Scots. The two most frustrating sports, both
Yeah.
invented by the Scots.
It's all things you can talk about when you go broom stack. So broom stacking is when you're all done, and it's a tradition of stacking your brooms in the center and going in and having a cocktail or a drink of your choice and kind of
To me, it's
reviewing everything.
right now, it looks like the call is to plug that hole, get in on the inside of that red one,
Look at that
Surprising.
travel.
and
Very nice.
so the curl itself is not an arc. It's more of a parabolic curve. So like a baseball, goes out straight, and then also at the end it, makes a big curl.
And the less weight, the more it usually curls. So that's the finesse of your delivery and how you're delivering that rock and listening to your skip where he's telling you how hard he wants you to kind of throw it, because that affects how much it's going to curl and where he's going to place the broom. If he's calling for a light shot, a light delivery, it's going to give you a lot more broom because it's going to curl a lot more.
Yeah, as a skip, I wish I knew what the person shooting and what weight they were going to throw, then they could give them the appropriate broom.
That's right.
What-
Play
what
the player.
what-
Play
what-
the player.
What the weight they're going to actually throw, not what I'm calling.
So coming down for
it'll
red.
curl up and it's going to hit that red. But
Push
is
it
it going to
back.
be enough to...
Oh, okay. I don't think that's the shot they wanted.
They need to curl up just a little more and trying to run right into the other red one. That would have been a gorgeous shot.
Mm-hmm. Again, those darn angles. Angle raises are some of the toughest shots to make out there. Not only do you have to have the weight down, but you have to have that angle just right. And a lot can happen down 150 feet of ice. So they're pretty shots when they're made, but they are difficult. It's kind of like the bank shot in billiards.
Yes.
You have to have it just right. But a billiard table is a lot smaller than 150 feet of ice.
Yes, and they're round. They don't have,
Yep.
nice felt. It's rolling over.
Okay, yellow's looking to put some more up front. Again, they do not have hammer. So as much up front as they can, protecting that tee. Nice shot. You'll see a nice, we call it the wall, a wall of yellow, kind of
And
protecting the center.
Yellow still has shot in the back there.
Yeah.
So
Yellow has shot, and they have all this stuff up front. So red shot right now.
And this is Hammer, the last
Hammer.
shot. So let's see.
It'll be interesting. Going for a double take, but
No, I think he wants to angle raise that yellow that's just
into the red.
on the right hand side into
the
the red.
and
And if it jams,
perhaps get shot.
yeah, and jams the other yellow.
It's really all he has at this point. Oh, it looks like
Yeah, it's
it's
gonna overcurl
overcurling.
on him.
It's going past that one
It might
for the
even be
angle
on
he
the-
needs.
Might even be on the guard. Nope, just got around the guard.
Yeah, unfortunately. So that's what we call a steal. So a steal is when the team that does not have that last shot, the hammer, the other team scores the point. So they stole it. So red will continue to get the hammer because yellow scored. But it was a steal from the yellow team. They stole that last shot from the red.
So back to the scoreboard. Yellow scores 2 in the 4th end to go up to 7, and then one more in the 5th end to go up 8 to 2 after 5.
5.
So, and at this level, that's a huge hole to try to crawl out of. So,
It is. So now you're trying to kind of figure out, okay, I'm red. If I take X amount of points here, I have to give up the hammer, and how much of the game is left. So you're playing the scoreboard at this point too.
right, and they're
But multiple points, that's what I would just say. Our goal is to score multiple points at this point to kind of get
guessing
closer.
they're okay. Strategies at this point right now is just put it right on the button, just like that. You know, keep it in there. Now,
Yeah.
come sit on it.
So as you said, you know, strategy changes as the score changes throughout the game and where you are in the game, right? So your strategy as a skip is going to change on how you call your game.
So the biggest point right now for Brown is not to give up a bunch. They can give up 1, give up 2.
That's what we call protecting, right?
Yeah.
So you might say, well, why did he give him 1? Why do you do that? Well, 1 doesn't really matter. 1 would be a win if you gave up 1. Who cares? You know,
Well, with a-
you're far enough ahead, and then
Right.
you get the hammer back. So that's what I tell my team when we're winning by a bunch. Who cares if I give them 1 or 2? I don't care. I just don't want to give them 4 or 5.
Don't relax. Don't
Yes.
Don't take the foot off the gas, right? But you know it's okay to give up 1.
And sometimes I protect to give them 1 because that's all I want them to have.
Yes.
So I start protecting their rock so that they get only 1. So lots of interesting strategy. Lots of books on that. So if you are really into it, pick up a curling book.
Meanwhile, over in the second event, in the after 5, the Mueller team is up 3-2 over Laws. Laws was the first event winner of the whole spiel last year.
Oh,
And
okay.
they come down from Ontario for this event annually.
Welcome.
So, yes. So 1 of 2 Canadian teams.
You don't
can
have
join us.
you don't have the monopoly on winter weather. I was saying we had a very Wisconsin-y day. We had, you know, rain, and then we're going to have ice, then we're going to have snow, and, you know, we could cap it out with, I think we had a little sunshine yesterday sometime on Friday, so we're getting it all.
Oh, come on.
Wisconsin.
Let's really rub it in. Donna, what was the temperature last Monday for a high temp?
I think it was high 60s.
Well, I was going to say 70 degrees.
I think it was
but
70. I don't know if it officially made it, but oh, it's beautiful. Beautiful. It teased us with one day of just absolutely glorious weather. But the old saying is, if you don't like the weather in Wisconsin, just wait 10 minutes.
So, again, on the other games, on the third event, let's see who's playing there again. No, Freund is up 6-3 after 5 ends over Townsend. Let's check on sheet A, which is the 4th event, and Bromberg is up 4-1 over Better. I can't pronounce that name. Sorry.
Oh, Yellow is just, Team Brown is pouring on the gas at this point. They're like piling it on. So as Mike had mentioned, this time of year is real interesting. You can get all sorts of different weather. A couple of years ago, guys were out there outside in shorts. It was 70 degrees and warm, which created a little bit of issue with, we had some humidity in the club and some frost up on our glass, things like that. So our club continuously is doing upgrades and all the glass was replaced recently to kind of prevent that from happening. So we're continuously looking for ways to upgrade and make it a better experience for everybody.
Yeah, speaking of that, so I played in the Spiel last year as well, and Friday was, thunderstorms were rolling in, the humidity was 100%, temperature was probably in the 70s, and because the ice itself is, what did they hold it at, 29 degrees, somewhere around that?
And in the house it's like 38?
Yeah, 40.
38, 39, 40, somewhere in there.
But it's when the ice also, there was so much frost on the ice.
Well, that we can't prevent.
Yeah. So you kind of had to take out weight just to get a guard. It was so slow.
It was slow because it was thick, heavy.
But then overnight, the storms came through, the humidity dropped, the dehumidifiers did their job, and Saturday, the ice was great. So.
And every once in a while we lose power here, so.
Oh, yeah. Oh, forget.
I know. Not going to jinx us.
We got to finish these games first.
Yeah, we do. Speaking of which, Yellow's making a statement in this end as well. Red's saying not so fast, but Yellow's pouring on the pressure.
Yeah.
So if Brown did take this would be Brown's first win as a skip, and the rest of his team have never come in with him to the finals. So even though he's been here and won it, he won it as a third in 2008 and 2003.
I thought that was Anderson that did that. Oh, okay.
It was Brown.
So he should be just putting something towards the center line, just inside the house. Take away the approach of the 4-foot. Maybe a little wider than just the center line.
Team Anderson is a new team too. They're relatively new put together. Was talking to him a little bit, and he said, he was looking to come into the Spiel, and was sitting at a bar somewhere after another Spiel in Wapaka or wherever it was, and asked somebody to curl, and the person next to him said he could, because the person who he asked was unavailable, and that's his lead. So Fortuitous puts together a game and comes into the finals. It's fantastic.
So team I was on, the Skip, he's been coming here for years, but I get a call Friday morning that he's ill, fever, doctor says stay home, so he's staying home, so we got to sub this for him. And then the second, had a death in the family, so
oh boy,
he played 2 games and had to leave, so more subs. So it was like I don't think we had the same team at any of our games, the same makeup, so
that can be a challenge.
yes.
But we're all a big curling family here, so we have lots of people available to sub if anything like that happens. We have folks in the ready to jump in and be available so that your team can continue to compete. So And it's not just about the competition, too. You have great food, great camaraderie, wonderful friends to catch up with, lots of quarterbacking in the back. So
Yeah, how many people are behind this?
I think it's a little lighter just because of the storm. Usually it's packed back there.
Right.
But
yeah, maybe because the score's so skewed as well. So.
I saw it early on, though, before we even got going. I was like, oh, boy, there's not a lot of people back there.
There are a lot of people bailing early. So.
Yeah, which is good. You know, if it's rough out there, stay home. Be safe.
Get home. Get home safely.
Yeah. Well, I think a few of these teams, like I said, from out of town, they said they were going to stay, which makes us feel good as the hosting club. We want everybody to be safe out there.
It's one of those games for Anderson here. You just can't get anything to work for them, it seems.
Yeah. Sometimes when it rains, it pours.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're, as I like to tell my team, sometimes you're the windshield and sometimes you're the bug. So they're being a little bit of the bug right now, unfortunately, but I have, just like in any game, right? We see it in football games and baseball games, something can happen and the momentum changes and teams can get right back into it, but they're definitely up against it right now. So they're hoping for kind of a little bit of help here. But Brown is pouring it on. They're not letting off at all. Like I said, sometimes that your team kind of lets off a little when they're in the lead, and Brown obviously is not.
Right.
So you get a communication exchange here. Interesting, these games are not timed for this event. So sometimes you'll see a game that is timed and some that are not. We try to keep to a tight schedule. You know, if we see people kind of lagging out there, we'll gently remind them to keep the game going. But this isn't an event that needs to be timed for any sort of reason. So we give latitude to the teams to kind of move the game along at their own pace a little bit here.
All right, so they changed up the called shot here. Originally they were just going to take that red one, but now wants to throw into the house, take up the way the
center
approach.
Button.
Right.
Yeah.
Because
if he takes it, it still would be open.
Yes.
If he took which is a good change, I think.
Right. So
makes sense.
I mean, you're counting two, out counting that red one in the back, so take away the approach of the 4 foot, because red still has 2 more shots. Did not curl up as much as he expected.
Oof.
Oh.
Too heavy.
There's actually a break for Anderson.
Break for Anderson. So Button is still open. He's looking at the shots here. Do we want to?
I
come
personally
in?
I think that's what they're looking at too.
Feels more comfortable with a hit and roll than he does with a draw.
Still not that hard. And now he's taking a second thought. But I still go with the first one. Take just hack weight, back hack weight.
So what he's thinking here is, I don't want just 1 point. I need a couple. And if you need a couple, you got to get rid of some of those yellows to stand a chance. He's got 2 rocks to 1, right? He's got 2 to deliver to the yellows 1. So
he's changing it up.
He's changing. He's saying, first shot, I want to draw. What would you have done here?
I don't know. I still
take it.
The hit and rolls haven't been working for him, but that to me would still be because hit and roll over to the center line, you're touching a 4 foot, hopefully out counting the yellow in the back. And again, guard's a guard. Yes, Brown could run that yellow straight back, but you can't take all the shots away.
Yeah.
But you're still in the same position. He draws in there. He can, Brown can just run the yellow guard right back in. And depending where he leaves it up, it could also give him an angle raise with the yellow that's just outside the 4 foot. So whatever you feel comfortable with. Just look like it's going to be coming down to that back yellow.
Little heavy again. Oh, there you go. All right, nice.
Okay.
Nice little tap. That's good.
So it's sitting on that one. Yeah, it depends how hard Brown hits it. Oh,
So Brown's just going to curl, draw to the button,
if that's the broom.
maybe land on the red.
No, I think he just wants to go sit on that red one.
Sit on that red just so it's
Okay.
backing, can't be taken out. Again, if you give him one, who cares?
How do you prevent them from scoring multiple? Again, back to my preferred shot. So you get that red
Yep.
in the 8-foot in the back, and that yellow touching 4-foot out counts that. So you just took that one
Land
out.
on top.
You know, there's no way to.
Okay, nice shot. All right. There's still possibility of chipping out that red and landing to the button and red scoring 2, which isn't the end of the world for Brown. They're up by 6 points, so it's kind of a must make for Anderson to stay in it a little bit here.
Right. And he doesn't need to hit it all the way out, because he just needs to move the, let's say, where's that red one? Just the edge of the 4-foot? Just inside the 4-foot, so he just needs to make sure it's outside the 4-foot. But given, is that too much ice is my question. I'm not on the sheet. I don't know the delivery.
Depends on what weight he's going to throw.
Right. I don't know what they're calling. So.
And he's calling for a hit, right?
No, it's just a heavy draw, back 8, to get on the inside of that yellow, push it out, and then have the shooter roll into the 4-foot for 2. Here it comes. I'd try to get it curl a little more.
Yeah, they're going for a little hit.
It needs to hit it. And did they move it enough is the question.
It's hard to tell with the camera.
Right.
I think so.
Well, they know for sure, so guess we'll find out when they hang the score. They live to play another end, huh? Guess Brown was setting up to make another steal on that one, so. Meanwhile, on the second event, Law now is up 4-3 after 6.
Very competitive.
Mm-hmm. Third event, Foynd is up 6-4 over Townsend after 6. In fourth event, Brumberg, I can't read the name. Somebody stay in front of it, is up 4-3 after 5. And they're just about to finish the 6th. No, it was 2 for red on that last end. Now let's see if they can figure out how to steal. Because their back's against the wall. There's 2 ends to go. They don't have hammer. Giving up 1 at this point. You know.
Down.
So Brown's looking to start clearing the guards out in front. Again, their objective is if they'll give up a point. I mean, they have hammer, so they would love to score, and I'm sure Anderson would shake at that point because being down 5 and only 1 end to go, kind of say enough's enough. They didn't accomplish what I think they're looking for. Still, Anderson Rock still hanging on the end. Just replaced the red guard with a yellow guard. And for Anderson's benefit, those are staggered, so can't run it straight back. If they can get the curl just a little more, that's a great spot. Anderson's just trying to open the front up. So got the these red ones off the center line now, but they should. Anderson come and put that guard back. Personally, I'd like it in the touching the 12 foot at least. Just an extra counter in there, right? Even though it's potential counter. Don't seem to be curling from the left side as much as I think it should be. Kind of like a nice port to shoot through for a take for that shot rock. Well, not quite shot, but that red rock. So, but the danger on that one is if he hits it off the nose too much on the broom side, there jam on the yellow on the right hand side. He's coming just lightweight. See how much this moves here. Yeah. Perfect. And nice little roll behind cover. The Brown machine, right?
Yep. Making a statement. And that's just it with any kind of sporting event. You know, when a team is on, they're on. It's tough to go up against them when making all their shots and rolls happen their way.
Right. Not only did this is a back-to-back game for Anderson, they also had an extra end.
Oh boy.
And I think
Brown had a little bit of a.
I think they shook early.
Yeah,
So,
say a little bit of extra time
rest.
to
Rest up.
rest up, which sometimes is good, sometimes is bad. You just never know. So Team Brown trying to decide what's the best course of action for this next shot. You want to take off that guard, remove it from play. You'd say, well, you know, it's guarding their yellow,
Right.
but it's a tap-up opportunity, so we want to get rid of it.
Which is the conservative way of playing it. Maybe
Yep.
a little more aggressive would have been to just sit on it, come behind it.
When I get down to the last couple ends, it's all about removing the bullets from the holster is what I like to call it. And I like to just take out as many rocks as I can because that's less amount of points that they can potentially score. They're down by 4, so I want to protect that lead.
Yeah, I mean, it's calling to put a guard up. And to me, come and sit on that top yellow. So, to me, that's a much better spot than. It looked like he was calling for a guard on the center line or in front of it. I like it in the house. It's
Yeah. Gotta
nice
have counters.
Yes.
You need points.
Nice run back opportunity. So
He's saying take it out.
No.
Take it out. Come behind.
Like,
What does he want here?
he's looking at
Draw.
what does the shooter want to do? So
You guard.
no, a blocker.
Block
plug
guard.
Plug that hole up.
Guard of the button is what I meant to say, but yeah.
Just put it in on the 8-foot, or even on the A, on the logger. A and a G. But this is definitely a case of, higher is better than deep. Top 12.
It's
better
coming in
than-
deep or
Top if you're gonna go deep, then bury it
get
behind.
it in there, get it in there. All right. He's looking at using that red to do a double on the yellows. This is when you want to throw some weight. You're gonna have to move a lot of granite, is what we
Yep.
call it. Move a lot of stone out there. You better be coming with some heavier weight, and because of that, you'll see the broom almost right on top of the stone. That's because
Well,
he's going
I'll
to be
give-
coming with some weight, so it's going to
Okay.
go straight.
I'll give you an alternative option here. And I'm like, okay, red needs to score, right? You know, what is he accomplishing if this works? I mean, yeah, he'll still be shot. If he can get the double, he'll still be outside the 8 foot. If he doesn't quite hit it quite right, you know, yellow's still sitting 2, counting 2. So
Here it comes.
let's see what happens here.
It's just got 50% of that equation.
Right. Didn't I just say that?
Yep.
I guess the alternative would have been that the
Well,
yellow.
that's because he threw it out. It was a little wide with that weight.
Right. The alternative would have been to hit that yellow that's now behind the red one, and hit on the inside, roll behind. The other ones can utilize that cover because they're staggered. I didn't quite catch what they were calling. I'm guessing the center line guard. Or come into the 8 foot, just out counting the red one. Tap to yellow back. Yeah, that works too. Never hurts to have a third counter, right?
Right, nice shot by Brown.
So doesn't leave Anderson with many options. They hit that one on the nose. The angle raise in there, draw.
What he's calling for maybe is an angle raise of the red because that might be his only opportunity to potentially score 2.
No.
Yeah, I don't think it's there.
I mean, can you get a triple? That's what he's going to try.
He has to. If he could get a triple, wow.
That'd be fun.
Put him right back into it.
Yeah, I want to see it. Come on. Because then they would score 3 if he can get all 3 of these yellows out.
This is those very high risk, very high reward shots that we go for when kind of have no other option. You gotta do it.
Gotta go for broke on this.
Yeah,
one.
I see too many skips going with the conservative, and what does that get you if you just take your 1? You're still down 3 without the hammer. You got to go for the win. You got to do it. So.
I don't know if that's gonna have enough weight to move that much granite. And where does he need to hit it?
Wow, great try. But we have yellow scoring 1 right now with 1 more to go. Potential to score 2. That would pretty much put this out of reach for Anderson. At this level of play, it's really difficult to score that many points in any particular end. And without the hammer. Or they would have the hammer, I'm sorry.
Okay, what is the call? Run the red back, get rid of the yellow.
This looks like a draw.
I just draw it for 2.
It's a good draw for 2.
He's throwing yellow. Why would I say run the red back?
I don't know. This room is really warm, Mike. I went outside. Downstairs, it was 20 degrees cooler. So I think our brains are getting cooked up here.
It felt so good to go outside for a second there.
Okay, they're shaking. Game's over.
Yep. So
congratulations, Team Brown.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to us yammer up here.
And join us again next year. somewhere around St. Patty's Day for the men's kettle
Yeah,
invitational.
we have streaming going on all the time, so come back, come watch us curl. And again, if you've never tried it, come on out. We'd love to have you, and if you are a curler, come to Kettle. We'd love to host you.
Signing off for now.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.